Ladies and Gentlemen, jetzt wartet die Nummer 1 der Welt. Der Mann hat am vergangenen Wochenende den World Cup of Darts gewonnen. Er ist der Premier League Champion von 2017. Er ist der aktuelle Weltmeister. Herzlich willkommen hier in Hamburg, Mighty Mike, Michael van Gerwen!
The unmistakable sound of Michael van Gerwen's entrance as he makes his return to Euro Tour action after skipping Gibraltar to prepare for the Premier League final. It was, of course, a Premier League final where he went on to claim the title once more, not without a little bit of stress and bother and no little luck against Peter Snakebite Wright, but the world number one, a 15-time Euro Tour winner, looking to make it 16 this weekend here in Hamburg at the Happy Bet European Darts Matchplay. And he takes on big Hendo, John Henderson, the Highlander, a man whom he beat in the final of one of these Euro Tour events. That was the German Darts Masters when it was held in Munich. The one time that Hendo has gone all the way to the final game, the decider on the European Tour. He pushed him close in that game, did Hendo. Very nearly upset the odds and overcame the best player in the world. Can he get some revenge for that defeat? Can he book his place in the last 16 to face the King, Mervyn King? One of two players this weekend to miss double 12 for the perfect 9-dart leg. He did that earlier on when he beat Richard North 6-2.
First leg, Michael to go first. Game on.
Michael van Gerwen versus John Henderson in the final second round game here at the Happy Bet European Darts Matchplay. Dan Dawson in the commentary box and Rob Malarkey alongside me.
136.
Thank you very much, Dan. Yep, Michael van Gerwen beginning his campaign for a 16th European Tour crown of his illustrious career. Hendo, his opponent once again, evoking memories of that epic encounter in Munich. Van Gerwen coming through 6-5, he led 3-0, Henderson came back to 3-3, Van Gerwen went 5-3 up, but the Highlander came back again. And in the end, Van Gerwen was just too good in the final leg.
140.
Henderson already had one disappointment this evening with that late equaliser for England in that World Cup qualifier at Hampden Park. I was just speaking to Henderson a few moments ago about that. He was absolutely crestfallen. I hope he's got over that, because he needs to put it to one side here to take on the world number one, the world champion, the Premier League champion, World Cup winner, of course, Michael van Gerwen, here in Germany last weekend as well, helping the Netherlands to the title for a third time.
139.
Good setup shot from MVG, but Hendo down to a finish after 9 as well. He's got a chance. He's still got a chance. He's got a real chance. Oh, and he's miles away from the ball.
Michael, you've acquired 28.
It just looked to be on the cards.
The first leg, Michael van Gerwen.
And what an opening that would have been for John Henderson.
First, game on.
Van Gerwen finishes it off as you expected him to, and Van Gerwen holds first. Haven't seen Van Gerwen, of course, on the Euro Tour since his 6-0 defeat by Peter Wright in the final in Sindelfingen 5 weeks ago. He's been busy in the meantime, of course. I mentioned the World Cup, I mentioned the Premier League title, made the final in Dubai as well on the World Series stage.
Yeah, beaten by Gary Anderson, but he did still average 110 in that game, Michael van Gerwen.
Yeah, not too shabby.
110 in conditions almost as hot as it is here at the Insel Park Halle in Hamburg.
100.
Well, there was a doubt with a foot injury at the start of the weekend, last weekend in the World Cup. Benito van der Pas making his way over for standby duty, but
85.
Van Gerwen came through the rest of the weekend, and he's in fine fettle so far here as well.
100.
Yeah, second time in a week Benito's looked all set to be involved in an exciting day of international darts and then having his hopes dashed. 4 mismatched darts against Vincent van der Voort in that last game. An absolute thriller. But it's Big Vincent through to the final day of action. And Michael van Gerwen, the man for whom Vincent was best man at his wedding, join him there.
100.
The king
John, you acquire
awaits.
120.
Shanghai finish. Oh, and a 1 won't help you, Big John. MVG looking at 76, and you can't give MVG shots at anything, let alone
68.
ones where
Michael,
he can give himself 2 darts at a
76.
double.
Well,
72. John, you acquire
Van Gerwen
52.
just reminding everybody he is human after all.
It's his favourite double top.
Game on the
And he
second
pins
leg.
it. It's
John
1
Henderson.
apiece.
Don't
John
let
Henderson
Michael
not
go
letting the
first.
world
Game
number
on.
1 get too far away from him.
Well, that'll settle him down if he was feeling any nerves, and I'm sure he was. He seemed to be fairly relaxed behind
138.
the stage just before the build-up to this one. You look at the players that have beaten Van Gerwen this year, though. Richie Edhouse, Steve Beaton, Willie
100.
O'Connor, Darren Johnson, another, as well as the more illustrious names that have accounted for him. Gary Anderson having done so twice, Peter Wright likewise,
100.
Phil Taylor in the Premier League.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the thing with Van Gerwen. It is unlikely he's going to go on and win 25 titles this year
57.
like he did last year. However, he still won the Masters. He won the Worlds at the start of the year, won the Masters. He's won the Premier League, finishing top of the table after the 16 weeks of action, or the 16 games.
136.
So he's not done too shabbily. In fact,
No.
the only major title that he hasn't won this year is the one that he wasn't at because he was injured.
But he holds the rest.
140. Michael, you acquire 127.
And we talked about the Premier League final earlier as well, didn't we? The fact he was adrift by some distance, 7-2 down against Peter Wright, and he came through that one.
91.
Yes, well, he did have to survive a number of match darts, but unfortunately, that is only going to be a tiny little footnote next to the Michael van Gerwen at the end of his career, how many
54.
Premier League titles
Michael,
he
you acquire
won.
36.
We'll forever say in the history books the 2017 Premier League champion
Games
is
on the third
MVG.
leg. Michael van
And he goes
Gerwen.
2-1 up,
Fourth
pinning
leg, John
double
to
18.
the first. Game on.
A more pronounced rocking motion compared to last night, I feel, as well. It's
140.
something that Paul Nicholson and I touched upon. Whether it's related to the occasion, I don't know, but it does seem to be more pronounced here.
140.
John Henderson coming through his first round match yesterday against Mike Holt by 6 legs to 4.
Didn't look likely, did it, when he was 4-1 down?
123.
Certainly did not, but he had this leg-on-leg improvement.
Yeah, the last 4 legs, particularly from John Henderson, were
57.
sparkling stuff. And he's going to have to produce that kind of stuff, maybe over a longer period than 4 legs, if he is going to overcome Michael van Gerwen. Because MVG has won 2 legs already, both with
60.
13 darters. And he carries on like that, then, you know, Hendo is going to have to produce something very, very special.
Yeah, 160 checkout in the final leg last night as well. The 10th leg, a 170 checkout in Jib last month as well, in the most recent European Tour event, when he went out in the second round at the hands
94.
of
Michael,
Ian
you
White.
acquire 164.
Well, Hendo's down to a 2-darter. MVG looking at a massive one, which he's not going to take out. Oh my word!
119.
2 bullseyes
John, you
for
acquire
Michael van
84.
Gerwen to apply the pressure. 14s now. Bullseye! MVG hit it
48.
twice.
Michael, you
John
acquire
Henderson has had 2
45.
darts at the ball for legs and he's missed them both. And it may mean that we get our first break of throw here.
Games
And we
on
do,
the
and
fourth
it's
leg.
3-1 to
Michael van
MVG.
Gerwen. 5th leg, Michael to throw first. Game on.
And every tiny little mistake is exacerbated when you're playing Michael van Gerwen, who brings out the dismissive wave of the hand. We see that a lot from MVG, but he usually does it at the end of visits. Just dismisses it away, saying, oh, that was rubbish. Usually after he's hit 2 trebles anyway.
Yeah, tugged at his shirt collar as well there. Henderson
140.
just looking to give himself some encouragement here with a ton 40.
Oh, look at this from MVG. Look at it!
108.
A first maximum, and the average goes up to 112. We've seen big performances today from some of the big names. Dave Chisnell and Peter Wright both averaging 104. Mensur Suljovic digging deep to win a thriller with Dirk van Dijvenbode. And Vincent van der Voort, all right, he had to survive 4 match darts, but he produced some stunning stuff
57.
to overcome Benito van der Pas. But right now in the early stages of this game, Michael van Gerwen is just doing what Michael van Gerwen does and averaging 110 plus. Something he does more often nowadays than he does average less than 100, which is an astonishing feat.
There is a very lengthy list of things that Michael van Gerwen can do, statistics just to support what a phenomenon he is, and that is one of them.
47. Michael, you require 100.
Well, that was a little bit of a chance Henderson had there. 103 checkout, but they're the kind of things you have to take out against van Gerwen because...
80.
Oh, well.
John,
a chance
you require 56.
for a break of throw.
And a gilt-edged chance it is as well to get back into the frame in this one. 2 darts at tops for Henderson. Only needs 1. That'll do him the world of good. And van Gerwen there punished.
6th leg, John,
2 darts at tops.
Game on.
Van Gerwen could not make it pay. Henderson shows him how it's done. And we're back on throw.
140.
Well, he is standing up to Michael van Gerwen, despite MVG throwing a big ton-plus
95.
average. He's had little chances, you know, missed dart the ball here, he had another missed dart the ball earlier on. But that's the thing, and everybody knows it. When you're playing Michael van Gerwen and he's in the mood, you have to hit everything. And if you don't hit everything, he may give you 1 chance over the course of this entire tournament to beat him. It may not be tonight.
It may not be, but Henderson made the point the other day. He said, look, I see this as a free hit, effectively. The shackles are off. I've got nothing to lose. Nobody's expecting me to win, so I might as well give it a go. I'm certainly not going to go on stage feeling any significant amount of nerves. I've played him before. I know what to expect. And, you know, so far, just about
90.
Still involved here. Okay, he's 3-2 down, but he's got the break back. He's still got work to do, of course. And van Gerwen's looking to break back once more here.
Yeah, it's just relentless, isn't it? You have a good leg against him, you get the break of throw, you have a benefit of him missing a couple of doubles, but then lo and behold, the very next leg, he's right back at you doing things like this.
120.
Well, you can see he's disgusted. Or he looks disgusted anyway with that final dart. Inconvenience slightly here, van Gerwen, having to return for double eights.
That's the thing with van Gerwen, you can see the frustration. He knew he was coming back to have another go at that double eight, which he's going to get now.
But he's still annoyed.
He's still annoyed because he's a numbers man. He likes throwing terrifying averages, he likes breaking records, he likes sending messages out to everybody else. And particularly the likes of Chizzy, who's made the final of this last 2 years, and Peter Wright, who has obviously made it his business to try and take on MVG this year, beating him a number of times for the first time in ages. You know, there's an 18-month spell Peter Wright didn't beat Michael van Gerwen, and then this year he's beaten him 3 times already and should have beaten him in the Premier League final. But he's averaging 106 here, and he's getting frustrated that he's not winning by more and averaging more. Because that's what he does. He's constantly striving to do things. He believes he's the best player in the world. The stats back it up, and his success backs it up. But he also believes that he can play on a completely different plane from anybody else. And he wants to emphasise that and underline that at every available opportunity. Look at that, 3 13 darters and a 14 darter. There's only that one leg in the second leg
99,
which has taken 6 visits to the board.
Well, it was here in Hamburg last year where Michael van Gerwen suffered his first and indeed heaviest defeat on the European Tour. 6-2 against James Wade in the semi-finals. He'll remember that as well. That's the sort of thing that will bug Michael van Gerwen.
James Wade is not going to trouble Michael van Gerwen this weekend. The defending champion dumped out, of course, by Kyle Anderson. 100 gives Hendo a chance, 65. But he's relying on MVG missing doubles again. Oh, now that's... Oh, well, he finds the treble, so double 12, and he could have had 2 darts at double for that leg. He only gets the 1 and misses it. So, Hendo for another break.
Yeah, a 4th successive break is on the cards here. And he's looking at tops for it as well.
40.
And
Michael, you require 24.
could well be that, because Van Gerwen is looking at double 12 here for a 5-2 lead.
On the 7th
and he's now one leg
Michael
away.
Van Gerwen.
Yeah, it's one thing missing those odd darts at bullseye at the end of combinations, but when Hendo stepped up knowing he should have been guaranteed one dart at his favourite double, and he did get it, missing that, they're the ones that really, really hurt you.
62.
And that'll hurt John Henderson as well. Van Gerwen sensing an opportunity, smelling blood here,
177.
and just leaping all over that poor start from John Henderson with a 177.
The end may be nigh for the Highlander,
59.
the man from Huntley, who, well, he showed some real character, some real guts yesterday in overcoming Mike Holtz, the local man from around here in Hamburg,
100.
and had some significant support in the hall. But John Henderson, from 4-1 down, produced some really, really good stuff, particularly the last 4 legs, to turn it around. He's
96.
going to have to produce exactly the same or even better to turn this around. But can it be done against Michael van Gerwen, who continues to fire in the big
96.
trebles? He's down to a finish and looking for a 6-2 win.
And Henderson looking like a man who knows that the game is up here, but he might finish with a flourish here anyway. What a little reminder from John Henderson to the arena here in Hamburg. But Michael van Gerwen is closing in, and he's now looking at double 10, and he takes out double 10 for a 6-2 win in double quick time. He's not in the mood to hang around here tonight, Michael van Gerwen. A 107.68 average to kick off the weekend. A little shot across the bows and a warning sign for the rest of the field here. Michael van Gerwen, one of 16 men left standing in the field here at the European Darts Matchplay in Hamburg. And the 2015 champion is on course to regain his title, cruising through. Not much Hendo could do about that one. Michael van Gerwen through to face Mervyn King, one of 8 matches in the 3rd round tomorrow. Let's hear from him. Join us again tomorrow, by the way, from 1 o'clock for the final day's action here.
Oh, that could be. That could be. So you feel comfortable. That's a good news.
If you want to get far in the tournament, you have to start comfortable. You need to give yourself power to go all the way, and I think I did well, but also John pushed me there, and I know what John can do. He's a very underestimated player for a lot of dart players, but I watch out for him because he's very good, and you have to do the right thing against him.
Yeah, and it's always a sign to all the other players, right? You're there, you're in form, and you're ready.
I'm always ready, because if you play a tournament, you cannot make mistakes, and if you're on the stage, you have to perform. Otherwise, the people don't like you. They want to see you winning. They want to see you try winning, and that's what it's all about.
Was it a special win last weekend, Frankfurt World Cup of Darts, to play for your country, for the Netherlands?
Yeah, of course, the country won something this year. We're not doing too well in team games, but with darts we did it right.
I think you're talking about football, right? No. Michael, it's good to have you here. Thank you very much. Michael van Gerwen. Er sagt, er ist in guter Form. Er ist natürlich hier, um auch dieses Turnier zu gewinnen. Und es geht von Anfang an darum, wenig Fehler zu machen, eine gute Performance hier hinzulegen. War gestern Abend schon da, war gut essen im Restaurant von Tim Melzer. Die beiden haben sich ja bei der Promi-Darts-WM kennengelernt. Also der fühlt sich wohl, der ist in absoluter Topform. Und er wird uns mit Sicherheit morgen noch einige schöne Momente bescheren. Das war sie. Die zweite Runde hier beim Happy Bet European Darts Matchplay 2017. Es war hochklassig, wir haben einige richtig hohe Averages gesehen von Dave Chisnell, von Peter Wright und natürlich auch von Michael van Gerwen. Wir hatten heute Nachmittag 8 perfekte Darts von Mervyn King. Es war so ziemlich fast alles dabei. Wir warten weiterhin auf den neuen Darter. Danke euch für diese tolle Stimmung hier und heute Abend. Kommt gut nach Hause, kommt sicher nach Hause. Und ich hoffe mal, dass wir viele von euch dann morgen auch am entscheidenden Tag wiedersehen werden. Also, bis hoffentlich morgen. Macht's gut. Ciao.